My immense pleasure to introduce you to the famous Tarris Batiste. And you will find out he's amazing. The things he's done is amazing. Welcome, Tarris.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me on too. Thank you for the intro. I've never been called famous. Actually, I've never had somebody say famous Tarris Batiste before, but thank you for that.
Oh, and it's will live on in perpetuity. So, it'll be fine. All right. So I want to start with the hard-hitting questions first. You played football, correct?
Yes.
And what positions did you play?
I played outside linebacker for a little bit, and then I went to safety to finish up my career.
Okay. All right. So you're the tough guys. Okay. Awesome. All right. So what you've been on the field through high school and everything, what was the funniest thing you heard from an opposing team crowd? Now, we know they can be mean, but what is the funniest thing you heard?
This is a good question. I think we was playing Oregon. I heard a guy say, like, guys, we don't even want to play. Like he was like, they were just, he felt like Oregon was here and Georgia State was here. So he was like, we're winning, but we don't even want to play. So that was pretty funny and kind of disrespectful at the same time. But
I hope you made him pay for that. But whatever, because I'm a big Georgia State fan.
There you go.
Okay, so the other most important question that all great journalists and podcasts ask are, what was your favorite travel food? Like, where did you go? You get to eat the best, something like that.
Yeah, so this is gonna sound crazy too, Deborah, okay? So I got two. So
okay.
when we're at home, we ate at Maggiano's, right?
Oh, man.
Plaza. And Coach Miles made an experience shout out to Coach Miles. But Coach Miles made an experience to that as well. He would take us to the movies and then we would go eat at Maggiano's.
Oh, so nice. The whole
experience was amazing. I'm not even gonna lie, Deborah. The away games we went to the University of Louisiana Monroe, ULM.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Every time we went went twice out of the 4 years we were playing. And they had some of the best food. It was unreal. In a small little Monroe, Louisiana, but they had some of the best food. So I never forget that. So those are my two places. It was amazing. Deborah, if you go back and ask 2014 to 2015 team, everybody would say they loved UL Louisiana food.
You know what? I heard from the baseball parents, Georgia State's baseball parents, they're like, oh, we love it when we go there because their tailgaters would feed them the whole time. They were like, oh, I just love this. See? It was just, they were like, we stayed, we hung out with their parents. I was like, okay. It was like, that was great. So let's start. Why did you pick football as your sport? Did you play other sports?
Yeah, I played football, played basketball, ran track. It's kind of more like football chose me more than anything. Just the physicality, just the in between and out who I am. I would say football chose me. You could be aggressive and you can be like, you can turn it off and on. Everybody won't have to see you. Like basketball, everybody can see when you're kind of upset. So yeah, I like football. Yeah.
So you tell me you don't have a poker face?
Yeah. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right, perfect. Okay. So you played what was your major?
Majored in criminal justice.
Okay, and why was that?
Yeah, so when I got in, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I liked like private investigating type things. So I was like, criminal justice is the way.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I kind of went with. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you get a master's? No.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I ended up getting my MBA, right? So that was great. It kind of slipped that criminal justice degree. I could use my MBA. So,
that's awesome. So what are you doing? What are you doing now?
So right now I'm in sales out here in Seattle for a software company. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years.
Okay. All right. So when you graduated, did you go right to this job or what did you do?
No, so right when I graduated, I ended up getting drafted the 7th round. So that was cool, right? With the Falcons. I was there for the rookie mini camp and I got released.
Okay.
When I got released, I was like, okay, I want to use my mind now. Instead of my body, I want to use my mind. So I flew out to Seattle.
Okay.
Started working at a hotel and just maneuver my way. And I knew a hotel front desk, I could meet a lot of people. Right.
right?
So it got me into my first sales position, and I just been in sales from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what was that transition like, from college to being drafted to, okay, that's over to, front desk at a hotel or
Yeah.
being in a hotel?
It was definitely humbling. It
Yeah,
was definitely it was definitely a transition that no one could pull me out except for myself.
yeah,
Um, and it's something that I still lean on this day when times get hard. I'm like, no, I've been through something harder.
right.
So that was what the transition was about. You know, I could give you the you know the needles of exactly what it went through, but for the most part, that's exactly what it was.
And did you have anybody at state that prepared you for this or talked about this?
Mm, Not anyone off the top of the head that I could name. I did have a lot of help along the way, and I don't want to disregard anybody like
Right,
that.
right.
But nobody, nor brand or no organization specifically was there to help us. And not just me, but others around us
Right,
for sure.
right, right. I think this is a pattern. This is not you specifically. It's not your university. It's kind of a pattern. And um, I think you're such an awesome public of people that have done so many things and you're set up for leadership
So,
and you know how to be a teammate. You know how to pull yourself up from adversity, come back from an injury, all that sort of thing that um, I think helping that initial like senior year to a year and a half out is
mhm.
so crucial, you know, to kind of do like a boot camp sort of thing. So
Yeah.
that's what this is about, is to bring community together and all kinds of people that you know and that sort of thing. So, um, what what was your favorite part of game day?
It was probably the warm-ups. I like
Okay.
everybody had their own way of warming up, right? Not just physically, but some people wore headphones, some people meditated. Everybody had their own thing. And if you really sat back in the locker room and just watched, it was pretty unique to kind of see. So
Wow.
that's what I would say for sure. Yeah.
And how did you warm up? How did you warm up?
Yeah. So I was kind of like, don't talk to me type of guy. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to hear no rah-rah speech. Like, I'm just gonna go out and do my own thing. So that was my way of doing it.
Okay, so when you were in practice,
Mhm.
what was that you liked the most and the things you didn't like about practice?
Practice was the unfiltered competition. I love that. Right?
Okay,
No
okay.
referees out there. You can say what you want, do what you want. I love that. And then what was the second question? I'm sorry.
So that was you really liked the all out go, no restrictions, see how far I can push myself. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, yes. Like, you
Okay.
know, try to do unorthodox things, right, with my athletic ability, right? You can try all that in practice, and that was amazing
Yeah.
to do.
Okay. So
And
what
then
was your favorite game?
Georgia Southern 2015.
Okay. Can you tell us why that is?
Yeah, that was our first game. That was the first game that we had to win to get to our first bowl game at Georgia State.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And we had to win that game or we wasn't gonna go. And I played my ass off that game too, Deborah. So I like to say that too.
Was McKindy on that team?
McKindy was on that team. That's
And
my
Trey Payne?
Trey Payne was them were
Okay.
great friends. Yes, yes, they were.
Okay. All right. So I was like, I'm getting it together which team you were on. Life
Uh-huh.
gets, kind of wild. Yeah, I remember they were pretty excited about that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And which was the worst game you played in?
Mm. We played against App State 2014. It was bad. It was cold. It was extreme. We wouldn't plan for it, right? We had chicken noodle soup at halftime. We just didn't plan for it at all. And and the scoreboard showed that we didn't plan for it. So that was one of the worst games. And I try to bury
Chicken
that
noodle
thing.
soup at
Yeah, we
halftime.
did.
Okay.
We did.
Oh, that's killing me. Okay, that's excellent. Okay. Who's your favorite coach? This
Mm,
could be high school, college, whatever.
yeah. Yeah, I would say a guy named Daniel picked me out of high school. He
Okay.
really carved me as a man and as a person. So that was my favorite coach.
And where was this? Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at Cass High in North Georgia.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cartersville, yeah.
Okay. Cartersville, right?
Cartersville.
Okay. All right. Okay. And what was special about him?
Um, I guess for me, he was the first coach that got me to believe in myself.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
now, you know, I loved my college coaches, Coach Volker. I love those guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he was the first coach that touched me that really got me to believe in myself. So I'll never forget that. Now, hold on to
Is he
that.
still coaching?
He coaches girls flag football in Atlanta somewhere. He actually just won 2 championships back to back 2 years. So he's obviously touching other people too, not just myself, but he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Good. Okay. All right. I get it. All right. Um, in the if you were gonna tell the terrorist as a junior or senior, what would you tell him that you know now that you wish you'd have known then?
On the field or off the field?
It doesn't matter.
I would say immerse yourself around the community at your college.
Ah,
So people know you outside of that helmet, and that's going to help, especially moving forward with numerous of opportunities like you, Deborah, like you, right? But that's what I would say for sure, right? Like
okay.
just put your hand in so many different pots in the community, in your college, and that will help you moving forward.
Okay. All right. So that it's kind of hard to do that really.
It is.
Because there's so much chaos of school, class, practice, individual practice, weights, community service for the team, the all that kind of stuff. It's really hard. I mean, yeah, it's really hard.
I agree.
Uh, what do you miss about playing?
The guys, the camaraderie, the bus rides, gosh, the plane rides. I miss that so much. Like even in the corporate office, you don't get that. You don't get those water cooler conversations where it's like, hey man, you tired? Yeah. Man, I gotta do a paper after this. Man, I gotta walk my dog after this. My dog having fed her this morning. I miss those conversations and I miss those. I think about those all the time. Yeah.
It's kind of a belongingness that
Yeah,
you had,
exactly.
right?
Thank you. Easy. One word,
Yeah.
belonging.
That um were you ever aware that the fans enjoyed that kind of belongingness that you all had? That was did, were the fans ever a part of your thought process as you were playing?
Not much.
Yeah.
But fans were a part of the kind of the preparation as you were playing, right? I
Right.
remember walking into the Georgia Dome, you see all the fans lining up with the cheering
Yeah, yeah.
as you walk from the bus. So they kind of made their way in front of your eyes, no matter if you want them to or not. I would say.
Did you want them to?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I
Okay,
think that
okay.
was like some type of energy that definitely pumped us up. So
Okay. All right. Cool.
yeah.
Um, do you do you find your have you found other former student athletes in your work at your work or in your industry?
I have found some.
Do you find yourself gravitating towards them
The
or
one, sorry, go ahead.
or do they not tell you that they are former student athletes?
Sometimes it stands out. And I'm going to be completely honest, Deborah. And sometimes the student athletes have been in this different environment for so long that they don't feel like student athletes anymore.
Right.
So I kind of get both of those two.
Right.
I try to look for it for sure. But myself, I try to let people know, hey, I'm a student athlete. So I try to do the extra, right? That's just me.
Yes.
It's in me. It's programmed. So yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Um, do you find yourself problem solving at your job that maybe some of your other colleagues don't do?
I find myself doing more attaboys, attagirls, slap on the butts, good jobs than anything because of that athletic background, right?
Right.
Just bringing everybody together, whether it's good or bad. I find myself doing that a lot, for sure.
I think that is such a big part of how you put this together, as far as making it through to the next step.
Mhm.
But all of this that's in you, the leadership,
Yep.
liking being with the team, that sort of thing. So, yeah, you're doing it. You're. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
doing it. It's like this is really good. Um, is there anything that you see your former teammates struggling with that you've been able to help them, or that maybe were a year or two behind you, or something that maybe you reached out to them, or even now, or something that it's a heavy step to go from undergraduate or
Mhm.
master's to corporate world anyway, but without the structure that you had coaches and nutritionists and everybody looking at you, and all of a sudden nobody's looking at you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So have
yeah.
you been able to help other your teammates or other student athletes that were there at that time?
I try my best to. I try to reach out and show in different internships, show different opportunities that I wish I had or opportunities that I took, right? Like different networking events, stuff like that. I'll try to reach out and show that, the opportunities are there and we can get out there too. I don't have anybody specifically that I can think of, but I try my best for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I'm sure you do, but it's already in you to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
already in you to bring everyone together.
Mhm.
That's what I keep saying is the best people to hire are former student athletes, because it's already in you. You just have to define into what industry that you like the best.
I I actually have a funny story, okay?
Okay.
And I'll say
Okay.
it in short for you. So
Okay.
at the beginning of our call, you mentioned Akeem and you mentioned Femi,
Right.
right?
Right.
So they graduated 2 years before me. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you what Akeem and Femi done for me as what you done for them.
Okay.
One day we were all chatting about what we want to do in life, and they said, "Hey, Taurus, come to the Starbucks by Adderhold. Do you know where that's at?
Oh, of course.
And come meet with us." So I'm meeting with them again. They were 2 years ahead of me. So they were talking, hey, what would I do if I could go back? And they literally helped build a bridge for me to kind of walk across.
Uh,
So it's funny we're talking about that. It's funny you mentioned those two guys. I hope they hear this. I hope they hear
Yeah,
this.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I kinda think they will. I kinda
Okay.
think they will.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I've got lots of stories about those 2. Yeah, but, I just, I wanted to be able to see now you've written a book, so tell me a little bit about the book and, um, what you've been doing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I wish I could show you. I'll tell you. But the book's called Don't Let It Smoke You.
Okay,
It's cannabis is coming legal everywhere, right around the
right,
world. Wherever you're seeing it, right?
right,
And just like things are needed in moderation. I also
right.
talk about it within the book, right? Do what you do, just don't let it control you as cannabis becomes legal all over the world. So that's
Right.
it. I think it's
And
helped talk about balance within other people. So yeah.
and what drove you to write it?
During my time when I was playing, I was using nonstop and it was kind of controlling me and smoking me. So I said,
Oh, okay.
how can I help others not deal with this as this becomes all over the world? So I put all that mess into a message and got it out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how did it control you?
Yeah. It was I don't like to say habit and stuff like that. I was more like dependent on it. Right. So it's
Okay.
like, okay, I'm just being honest, Deborah. Okay. When we fly out to away games and when we go to the hotel that night, I was smoking.
Okay.
Right. Home games, you know. So I was dependent on it no matter what I did. And that wasn't a good spot to be in for sure.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. But the best part is the honesty and that you have talked about it so you can help other people
Absolutely.
do that. That's really um okay. I was trying to figure out um um is there something that can you see yourself like day to day or maybe week to week or whatever that you probably you see your same patterns in your practice or game times that as you prepare for sales that you use some of the same patterns. Like you mentioned in your practice that you like to do a lot of all kinds of things, and you could kind of be unstructured and
Mhm.
try stuff that you've never tried before. Do you
Yep.
find those kinds of kind of mental gymnastics that you do the same thing in your work life?
Absolutely, all the time,
Okay.
all the
Okay.
time. It's like that mental agility, right? You
Right.
just play around with it. Yeah, and sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's not so good. But yeah, that's yeah, I actually love that about myself that sports brought to me. But because you kind of come a little bit creative, you kind of become a little bit unique in other people's realm. So yeah.
Right. Right. So you've accomplished more than many, many people have. And um, what do you think was the best part in total right now? You'll probably change in 5 years, 10 years, whatever,
Mhm.
that being in sports has done for you?
I would probably say understanding the difference between, I would say, putting all different diversity of people into a melting pot and understanding how the differences and different languages and different religions and putting all that in and conquering that
Okay.
helped so much. Kind of pushing all that to a side, race, the color, right, where you from. That helped me so much out when I got out of sports that I didn't even realize. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So yeah.
Awesome. That's really good.
Yeah.
I don't think we could wrap up of an interview better than that. That's fantastic, really. So, but I appreciate your time. I know you're very famous and successful. We look forward to seeing you do these things. We'll come back and talk about the book
For sure.
sometime. And tell me again the name of the book.
Don't let it smoke you. Here, can I show you really quick?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
1 second. Let me see. I gotta grab it off the shelf. Here. Here it goes right here. Right.
Okay. And you can get that on Amazon.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Okay.
can.
All
Yeah.
right. Under Tarris Batiste. And so I really appreciate your time. And
Likewise.
so until next time, everybody, when we have a team meeting where you're more valuable beyond sports because of sports. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.